That was a very thorough introduction, so thank you very much. So I'm Nancy Merner. I'm an associate professor here at Auburn, and I've established a breast cancer genetics research program that is best known for the big pink bus over there to your left called the Gene Machine. But as a geneticist, I want to stress that genetic testing saves lives. The Gene Machine has enabled my team to connect with communities throughout the state for outreach, education, and research participation. And our goal is to provide access. Alabama is rural and medically underserved, and my team strives to bring research and education to the community for inclusion. But we're here today because October is Breast Cancer Month, and All in All Pink is an annual breast cancer awareness event for the Auburn community. Did you know that Breast Cancer Awareness Month was established back in 1985? So that's 38 years ago. It was established to promote mammograms as a life-saving screening method. And today, we are focused on educating everybody about breast cancer, the importance of early detection, and access to timely and high-quality health care. It's also a month devoted to raising funds for life-saving research. So whether that's investigating what causes breast cancer, how to prevent it, how to best diagnose it, or most successfully treat it. And of course, the ultimate goal is to find a cure. But you still might be wondering, why a whole month devoted to breast cancer? Well, here's the severity. And I'm going to be repeating some of the stats that have already been stated. But breast cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in women in the U.S. And there are currently more or around 4 million women living in the U.S. that have had breast cancer. So that's people currently being treated or finished treatment, and of course, many of you in the audience. An average U.S. woman has a 13% lifetime risk of developing the disease, so that's 1 in 8 women. And it's important to note that men can also get breast cancer, but their lifetime risk is 1 in 800 compared to the 1 in 8 for women. So a man's lifetime risk, an average man's lifetime risk is less than 1%. But as a geneticist, it's important to note if you have a mutation in a breast cancer gene, your risk rises above the average. So a woman who's carrying a high-risk breast cancer mutation, her lifetime risk can go up to 90%. A man carrying the same mutation, his lifetime risk can increase to 12%. So that's why if you know a man diagnosed with breast cancer, he most likely has a family history of the disease. So both men and women in the audience today, note your family history. Also, it's important to stress that it doesn't matter what side you see breast cancer on, mom's side or dad's side. You can inherit a breast cancer mutation from your mom or your dad. So key characteristics of hereditary breast cancer is a family history of the disease. Early age of onset. So if you're diagnosed 45 years or younger, that's considered early. So if you have young cancers in your family, that's indicative of hereditary cancer. Bilateral breast cancer. So if you have a primary in each breast, that's indicative. Ovarian cancer and male breast cancer. And it's also important to note that individuals in breast cancer families are also susceptible to other cancers. So I just mentioned ovarian cancer, but pancreatic cancer and sometimes colon cancer and melanoma are seen in breast cancer families. And also men have an increased risk of prostate cancer in a breast cancer family. So I'm here today to stress the importance of acknowledging your family history as a risk factor of breast cancer. And it's very important to communicate openly with your family because individuals then will know if they're at an increased risk and need genetic screening, which saves lives. So currently, my lab is funded through a 4-year American Cancer Society grant to study African American breast cancer genetics. So African Americans have a higher incidence of breast cancer under the age of 40. They're also more susceptible to triple negative breast cancer, which is a more aggressive type with a poor prognosis. So these facts, coupled with the fact that African American men also have increased risk of breast and prostate cancer, just is indicative of hereditary disease. And so, but African Americans are underrepresented in research. And so that's why that gap needs to be filled, and what we're doing is important. My research group is sequencing the genomes of African American women with breast cancer, looking for those risk factors, trying to find answers. So if you're interested in learning more, or if you have any general questions about breast cancer risk and genetics, come visit us at the Gene Machine. My recruitment coordinator, Betsy Stallworth, is over there, and she is looking forward to speaking to you as well as the rest of my team. So thank you for your attention.